Let's take a look at all things money matters now. The JSE is weaker at midday trade along with its global peers as investors digest the U.S. consumer price numbers. So this data further fuels expectations that the U.S. Federal Reserve will increase rates in March and prospects of 4 rate hikes in 2022. For a look at how the markets are faring this hour, we're joined by Carmen Mpelwane, Portfolio Manager at Absa Asset Management. Always a pleasure, Carmen. Thank you very much for joining us. So let's start with an overview of how the markets are faring this hour.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Zulu, thanks. We have seen the market pull back this morning, down at about 32 pips today. Having said that, year to date, the market is up about 2.62%. A lot of the pullback today is following yesterday where Naspers #1 had a significant rally, as well as a lot of the miners.
Chrome and platinum group metals miner Teresa says its 2022 year has started strongly with its full-year production guidance unchanged. Let's talk through the group's production report.
Yeah, so they came out with a first quarter production update. PGMs up almost 10% quarter on quarter. Chrome marginally up quarter on quarter. Keeping in mind that they are going through a transition period at the moment and waiting for the chrome refinery circuit to come online. And that will assist them in terms of #1 cost and obviously quality as well. They have mentioned that they are waiting for their Zimbabwean operation also to be fully integrated, and that should happen in the second quarter for the group. So lots happening for them. And then further largely fueled by the fact that we're seeing a lot of supporting commodity prices and specific PGM basket. And the basis of that has been that we've seen the supply-demand dynamics ease up as we see the chip bottlenecks easing across the globe.
Let's take a look at Checkout.com's valuation of more than doubling to $40 billion in a year following a $1 billion investment in the fintech startup that will be used to launch products and further its involvement in the so-called Web3 space.
Yeah, so we saw Checkout.com yesterday. As you've mentioned, they raised $1 billion in funding. This is just at about a year ago that they raised an amount as well, and that valuation at that time last year came in at $15 billion. So definitely more than doubling with this latest round of funding. They have mentioned, well, firstly, they have been around for almost 10 years. And they've already been profitable. And basically what it's been is that they've been fueled largely by the pandemic-driven where consumers are moving more to a digital payment platform. And this has been sort of the basis of their investment case. So we've seen that has fueled their valuation #1. And they've guided that they are looking to take this inflow and utilize it for project development, specifically in the United States.
Before we say goodbye, if we could get your 2 stock picks for 2022.
Thanks. So my first one is definitely going to be in the resources sector. We saw them take a lot of pain last year. And as I mentioned earlier, it's likely that there's an expectation to see a support in commodity prices going forward. We have seen Sibanye has rallied 14% year to date, but it had a significant pullback in last year. So that would be one of my key stocks to keep an eye on going forward. And then one of the stalwarts in the retail sector, Mr. Price. We've seen that there's been some pullback in the price over the last few months, so a very attractive entry point, I believe. And the view is that we're likely to see a significant uptick in terms of December sales as well. So we'll see results start coming through in the next few weeks for the retailers. Mr. Price has always had a very strong balance sheet and management that we believe is significantly reasonable and has monopolized on the pandemic period. So we expect that they'll continue to see them improving into the next 12 months.
Carmen, thank you for your indulgence. Carmen Mpelwane is the Portfolio Manager at Absa Asset Management.